Hey guys, MD Prepper here, talking about other low-cost, first-time ownership weapons and low-cost prepping options to round out your kit. We're talking about probably my favorite topic here and favorite item in low-cost options other than a little high-point 9mm handgun. We were talking about the Kel Tec Sub2000 sub-carbine. Love this rifle. Incredibly versatile, very much worth the price. And let me go ahead and say I prefer this to the high-point carbine. Now, I love my high-point carbine. It's great. I've got a lot of years of use, maybe 4 years out of that one. Love it. Very dependable. Had this for maybe 6 months. For the money, this is a better rifle. Much more versatile. Only reason I would choose the high-point carbine over this one is if I had a high-point handgun and wanted the complementary weapon to go with it. Love the carbine for the high-point. Not going to knock it. It's good stuff, but it only has a 10-round capacity. It doesn't have all the options of this one. This is a much more versatile style weapon for carry, concealment, capacity, etc. This is just a better made item overall, I think, compared to the high point. So, Kel Tec, everything's out of Zytel and polymers and everything else. Very lightweight overall. This rifle comes in at a ridiculously light 4 pounds. The whole thing, 4 pounds. Weighs nothing overall. So, especially, compared to other rifles and AR-15s. You're not going to find an AR-15 that weighs 4 pounds. You're not. This is the lightweight rifle, other than some of your polymer 22s that you're going to be able to find. So, great gun. Tends to run around $350. So that's the upper end of our low-cost prepping, I'd say. Well, not the upper end, but upper compared to a lot of our other options. And it runs about the same cost as your newer high points with the TS tactical stocks on them. So they're a wash as far as price. This is just more versatile. Again, very lightweight. Very, very short. The overall length on this thing is 29.5 inches overall. So let's call it 30 inches. Now this may be too short for a lot of shooters. A lot of bigger guys, this thing might be like shooting one of those little cricket rifles. Just too short for you. For me, it's short. It's very short with the length of pull and everything else. But it's okay. I can shoot just fine with it. I can acquire targets as quick as I need to. If I was a bigger guy, I may have trouble with it. But I don't. So, there we go. This thing comes in 9mm and 40 Smith & Wesson. This is the 9mm because I don't tend to run 40s. Got a lot of 9mm that I like. I like 9mm because they're cheaper to shoot, practice with, etc. And recoil is minimal compared to any other centerfire handgun round for practicing and training people who aren't good at shooting or are recoil sensitive, training women, girls, and stuff like that, folks with recoil sensitivity and smaller frames. This thing comes in three different configurations overall. They come chambered or compatible with Glock magazines, like this one is. And there's two versions of that. One that will chamber, the longer grip here, that will chamber the Glock 17, and one with a shorter grip here that will chamber Glock 19s. Now, I could not find many of these around. This was the only one I found at the local gun show when I bought this. Hadn't seen many since. This one chambered, or does chamber, the Glock 17, longer. Well, I don't run Glock 17s. I run Glock 19s, the smaller, mid-size frame. And the 19 mags would not fit in this longer 17. So, yes, I modified it. Many of you may recoil in horror, but this is a beater gun. This is a gun I use all the time. I shoot this, I carry it, I put it in my pack. This is to be used. This is not a safe queen by any means. This is a functional rifle. So, I did take my Dremel, cut this down so it would take the Glock 19 mags. Now, this is a Glock 19 mag with a 2-round extension on it, which is perfect for your grip. That is per 17 rounds. Yes, that's the same as the Glock 17 on it. But I think what's nice about this, if I get the mag out, is I got these ellipses on the backside. You say, well, that looks like crap. Well, I don't care about what it looks like. This is a functional gun. If I'm reloading in a hurry, I can put this magazine in there and feel the back of this thing. Slides right in, pop it in. Good to go. This little guide there in a hurry, because you're going to be loading from this hand. All you have to do is barely catch the back of those and it flips in real well. I don't think I'm showing that real well overall. I'm going to try to show it again. Come in there, lay it in, pop it, good to go. So, I think that's a great addition to this. Glad I did it. Kind of glad I actually could only find the Glock 17 as opposed to Glock 19. Let's see. what else about this thing? 16-inch barrel, which is fine for accuracy. Recoil on it is notably more than the Hi-Point carbine, because the Hi-Point's a lot heavier overall. That's not a major hit. It's still a 9mm, still okay. Recoil is not ridiculous. That's fine. It's not as accessorizable overall as the Hi-Point for mounting red dots and all of that. But I don't want that. I don't want something else that's going to break. This is a down and dirty little rifle that has a notable advantage over all the competition. You come down here, you obviously make sure this thing's unloaded, take the trigger guard and push it down. Flip the barrel around, folds up. Aha! This will fit anywhere. This will fit in a briefcase, it will fit in a backpack, a duffel bag, anywhere else like that. 16 inches total length here, total width 7 inches. You can fit this anywhere. And 4 pounds weight, this is great. Keep it in your backpack, etc. Now you can't keep the thing with a round loaded in the chamber, because when you flip it over, well, there's your chamber right there. The barrel and the chamber go together. But you can keep a loaded mag in this thing in a pinch. Now what you need to do to release this thing, there's a little button right here, which, don't know if you can see right there. You push that down, snaps right into place. Chamber around right here, good to go. Safety right here, standard kind of safety. Push it that way to fire, there's red. You push it the other way, you got safe over here. So, very nice, very effective, very quick. The rear sight is a peep sight, kind of your AR-15 style, sighted to about 100 yards from what I've read, and seems to be from what I've shot. Effective range in the 9mm, they say, is out to 150 yards. I don't know if I want to hit something with a 9 out to 150. But whatever. Could I hit something? Yes. Other than being 9 and 40 caliber styles, and I talk about the Glock because I say the Glock is the way to go, first of all, before I go on. Glock mags and aftermarket mags and accessories are everywhere. I tend to shoot a lot of the Korean magazines, Korean military mags, that I get for very, very cheap, maybe a third the cost of the Glock mags, and I've never had any problems with them whatsoever. Much cheaper, I can have a lot more of them. It's the same darn thing. Yeah, for low cost prepping, way to go. You can find more Glock mags out there. Go Glock. I would, anyway, in 40 or 9mm. They have a second style that will chamber either Beretta magazines or Smith & Wesson magazines. Though the Glock is not convertible with that other style, the Smith & Wesson / Beretta. The mag release here, backside, is different. Let me show you the Glock one. It's got these two little lines on it there, you can see. That's what the Glock style mags look like. Don't recall offhand what the Smith & Wesson mag release looks like, but it's different. Look it up on their website, somewhere like that, you'll find it. I run Glocks, I don't tend to run Berettas or Smith & Wesson semi-auto, so this is the way I went, obviously. And if I didn't own any of those handguns, I'd still go Glock, just because I can get magazines for cheap. So this gives me the versatility of either a 15-round magazine, a 17-round magazine, which this is converted to 17 with the 2+ on the bottom, or, if you really want to rock and roll, the 33. So, 33 rounds in a semi-auto rifle that's 4 pounds. Now, I'll admit, it does look ridiculous with 33 rounder in there. But my God, that's a lot of ammo. That's ridiculous for a low-cost prepping option. I think I paid 15 bucks for this mag, something like that. I think I paid $5 for this one. So, lots and lots of mags. Obviously, if you already own a Glock, which I would not say is a low-cost prepping option, but if you do, and you want to round out with a carbine that shoots the same mags, this is absolutely the way to go. Very accurate. I have never had a failure to fire. I've fired maybe 500 rounds through this, not as much as my Hi-Point. Unstoppable. Never had a failure to fire. Never a hitch in it whatsoever. Trigger pull's decent. Recoil is reasonable. Now, I did add some additions to this one, which you can probably see if you know what these things are, other than cutting that down, which I know I'm going to get some grief about that, but darn it, it works, and it works well. From Tactical, they offer several accessories for this little rifle. Yes, Tactical, great name. First thing right here is a rubberized cover here for the recoil spring cover here, buffer tube, if you will. That's metal, normally, and if you're carrying this thing out in the hot sun, that thing's going to get ridiculously hot when you put this up and try to get a cheek weld on it, you might burn yourself. Or if it's cold, you know. Don't end up like that kid from Christmas Story with his tongue on the light pole. So, this little rubberized thing, better grip, etc., and has a better cheek weld. Very cheap, very inexpensive. I don't know if you can see the Tactical Products image. Probably can't right there. Hopefully that's coming through. So that slips on. I'm not going to slip it off because it's a bit of a pain once you get it on to get it off. Also, charging handle is a little odd on this. It's right back here, if you can see that. You have to pull that back all the way. I'm not going to do so, but chamber around. So that's a little different. That does reciprocate every time you fire the round. So you need to make sure all your arms and hands and parts, fingers and slings are out of the way. But I've never found that to be a problem at all. That works just fine. Now I've got a little rubberized piece around that, which thickens it up and makes it easier to grab a hold of, better traction. That's also from Tactical. You see that right there. That's not quite the original way it looked. It looked kind of more like a Tech 9 charging handle. I wonder why that is. Oh, that's right. The guy who designed this, George Kelgren, also designed the Tech 9, as well as the rest of the Kel Tec line. This also has a recoil buffer inside this thing. I'm not going to take that out. The recoil buffer does wonders for the recoil. Even though the recoil is incredibly light, it makes it even lighter. The only problem with that is that you can't lock this thing back in the open position if you've got the recoil buffer in. And it makes it a little tougher to pull this back and charge. But for your average guy, that's not going to be a problem. Maybe for a female shooter, you may not want that recoil buffer. It will lock back right there, but again, with that extra recoil buffer taking up space, it will not. They say that on the Tactical website. I don't need to lock my slide back. I don't think that's worth trouble. My range doesn't require it, so I like it better this way. Also, obviously added a sling. The sling was from Kel Tec, designed to fit, obviously, this little rear slot here, which kind of looks like a little mini AR, non-adjustable though. And right up here in the screw where the sights are at there, the rear sights. They did have a little extension piece with that came with it. I didn't like that. It made it wider. I didn't want that extra piece sticking out, so I just mounted it flush. I think that works fine. For me personally, doesn't get in the way when I draw it. I'm a right-hand shooter. No issues there. Again, very small, very up-close little rifle as far as shouldering and all of that. But for 350 bucks, this is tremendous. Again, the folding capacity of this, so you can fold it up, you can easily deploy the thing, pop it right out, chamber it around, good to rock and roll. They do have some other accessories where you can put a side folding flap on here to put some optics, like a red dot or something on it. Those are expensive. I don't think it's worth it personally, though I may pick it up at some point. They do offer a different style, lower profile, minimalist forward grip on there that's a little more rounded, looks kind of like an AR, I guess. You can check that out from Kel Tec if you want to add that. Again, we're talking low cost. For $350 here, tremendous. Just tremendous. Like I say, 17 to 33 rounds of 9mm, or, you know, whatever's equivalent in 40 with Glock mags of rock and roll. Coming out of a carbine, a 16-inch barrel, much better than your 9mm, used by a lot of SWAT teams and special forces, that type of stuff. Low recoil, get a lot of rounds on target in a hurry, and if necessary, you can reach out and touch somebody. Not as good as a 5.56 or 308 or anything like that, but again, we're looking at low-cost options. I don't have to stock another caliber. If I've already got 9mm, this is going to do the job. Same ammo, works fine. No problems at all. Love this rifle. Cannot sing its praises well enough. Probably one of the finest firearms purchases I've ever made as far as practical firearms. Yeah, I've got some stuff that's just fun to shoot, but something I'd pack out in the woods, oh yeah. Would I like a 22 like a little Henry survival rifle? Sure, but this can do a lot more than a 22 can as far as defensive stuff. So give me a Henry survival rifle or a 22 Planker and one of these, I'm good to go. To heck with a handgun. The handgun would, again, probably my third line beyond the 22. Be first, centerfire, semi-auto. Probably second for general purpose, you know, camped in at home or camped out in the woods. This is much more serviceable. Would I want to take a deer with this? Probably not. Could you? Well, you'd have to be a good shot. Might be able to take a turkey, something like that. Nothing on the wing, but you know, I'm probably going to use your 22 for foraging. But this is a great defensive tool. 9mm carbine rifle with 17 to 33 rounds in it and quick magazine change. Oh yeah, for $350, this is the way to go, in my opinion. Like I said before, I love my high point carbine. Wouldn't trade it, wouldn't get rid of it, but I just think this is a superior product overall for the price point being almost identical. So there we are on sub-caliber rifles. Love the Kel Tec Sub2000. Highly recommend you check it out. Indie Prepper out.